which one will I choose? Down one lane I'll find happiness, and down the other I will lose. There is no one that I can trust, I must decide alone. My decision is an awful one, which road will take me home? In the morning will I wait to find down the wrong road I have gone? Will I hear the melody I've searched for oh so long? Only time will tell if I have made a loser's choice. And no sadness cries my inner soul, and my lover mourns my voice. Perils there are many as I set out on my way. If I lose your love, I know that I can call it back someday. Rambler, lonely rambler, just 'cause any place is home. Nashville lights out you always shine. Wishing now that you had found a word or two to say. But the morning came and we both knew my eyes gave it away. As I kissed your cheek and said goodbye, I thought only time will tell. And you can't draw water from an empty well. In the morning will I wait to find down the wrong road I have gone? Will I hear the melody I searched for oh so long? Only time will tell if I have made a loser's choice. And no sadness cries my inner soul, but my lover mourns my voice. No sadness cries my inner soul, but my lover mourns my voice.
It was long, long ago in the moonlight. We were sitting on the banks of the stream when you whispered so sweetly, I love you, and the water murmured a tune. Oh, they tell me your love's like a flower in the springtime, blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. I remember the night, little darling, we were talking of days gone by, when you told me you'd always love me, that for me your love would never die. Oh, they tell me your love's like a flower in the springtime, it blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. It was spring when you whispered these words, dear. The flowers were blooming so fair. But today as the snow falls around us, I can see that your love is not there. They tell me your love's like a flower. In the springtime it blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. And they tell me that's the way of your love. Tell me your love's like a flower. In the springtime it blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. And they tell me that's the way of your love. We're gonna do a tune here called Too Late to Cry. I keep. And it's too late to cry, 'cause we left it all behind. Too late to cry, 'cause there's nothing left to find. You won't get mad that you're living for. And it's too late to cry tonight. Point in us carrying on. We pretend to try, but the feelings are gone. I hear the Dutchman has lost his maid. The silence that follows him tells me of our pain. And it's too late to cry, 'cause we left it all behind. Too late to cry, 'cause there's nothing left to find. A story in my eyes. The dimness it has given me won't let me realize that love is more or less a state of mind that we go through, with no guarantees of what it holds for me or you. And it's too late to cry, 'cause we left it all behind. Too late to cry, 'cause there's nothing left to find. How y'all doing tonight? Some of you are doing all right. Can't hardly talk. I'm gonna go ahead and let my brother sing one here whenever he gets ready. I usually make him do all the talking for me. Called Think of What You Done.
heart to heart. Dear, how I need you, like the flowers need the dew. Loving you has been my lifeblood. I can't believe we're really through. Is it true that I've lost you? Am I not the only one after all this pain and sorrow? Darling, think what you've done. I look back to old Virginia, where the mountains meet the skies. It was there I learned to love you, and I'll stay there till I die. Is it true that I've lost you? Am I not the only one after all this pain and sorrow? Darling, think what you've done. Is it true that I've lost you? Am I not the only one after all this pain and sorrow? Darling, think what you've done. Darling, think what you've done.
It's good to see a bunch of familiar faces out there tonight. Appreciate y'all coming out. I see y'all back there. Some family over here as well. It's good to be back in Virginia. I live in Tennessee now, for those of y'all that don't know. So it's always good to come back home.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I'll just go ahead and introduce Banjo player over here. This is his hometown right around here. About how far you live from here, Joey?
About 15 minutes.
Yep. So this is a great banjo player down here, played with a lot of great bands. I won't list them all because I'll probably forget most of them, but you want to list them there?
I couldn't hold a job very long.
Oh, okay. But he did play with Dole Lawson and Quicksilver, and he has a band now called Cox and Company.
We'll be here next October, I think.
Next October, so y'all remember that.
Thank you.
But they're going to do y'all instrumental, and that's Joey Cox.
Thank you. We'll do one I just wrote about 5 minutes ago called Lonesome Road Blues. Thank you. No, I used to playing banjo for a while. I've been playing guitar mostly since about 2010, but I had to get loosened up here the past few days.
Hey, Barry, what was that you told me a second ago while they were playing?
What?
This is what Barry told me while they were playing. Go ahead, tell him.
Oh, okay.
Talking about my bald spot.
I'm the oldest guy up here, and I got more hair other than Ashley than any of them. I like that.
He was looking on these cameras right here, and they did those close-ups, and he's like, Joey's getting a little bald. And then he said,
Well,
you know,
that's
your
not
brother's got a little bald spot, too.
The balder you get, the wiser you are, is what I've always heard.
And see, Patrick wears a hat.
Joey's
so
pretty wise. I
For
tell you.
good reason. You got to cover ugly when you can.
We're going to slow it down here for you and do you one called the Tennessee Waltz. And I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee Waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced her to my darling. While they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. I remember the night in the Tennessee Waltz. Oh, and you know how much I have lost. Oh, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee Waltz. Now I'm dancing with another to the Tennessee Waltz. Whisper to me and tell me your name. And I won't tell you, little darling, that my heart is crying, for we're no more, it will be the same. I remember the night in the Tennessee Waltz. Oh, and you know how much I have lost. Oh, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee Waltz. I remember the night in the Tennessee Waltz. Oh, and you know how much I have lost. Oh, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee Waltz. The beautiful Tennessee Waltz.
Thank y'all very much. We're going to do an old standard here, and I'll go ahead and introduce the only girl up here. She's been my sister for the past 28 years. You 27 or 28?
20.
She's 28. She told me she's 27. I believe she's 28. But anyway, y'all make welcome. Originally from Floyd, Virginia, but now living in Johnson City, Tennessee. My old sis here, Ashley Blankenship her. Okay, that's enough. We're going to do an old standard here. One called The Old Home Place. It's been 10 long years since I left my home in the holler where I was born, where the cool fall nights and the wood smoke rise and the fox hunter blows his horn. Well, I fell in love with a girl from the town. She told me she'd be true. She ran away to Charlottesville and worked in a sawmill or two. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plow in the field and look for a job in the town? Well, the girl ran off with somebody else. Tariffs they took on my pay. And here I stand where the old home stood before they took it away. Now the geese fly south and the cold wind moans as I stand here and hang my head. Well, I've lost my love and I've lost my home, and now I wish that I was dead. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave a plow in the field and look for a job in the town? And why did I leave the plow in the field and look for a job in the town?
Homesick with the blues.
1, 2, 3.
It sure feels like rain today. I think the storm is on its way. And just like my tears, the rain will fall. sick with the blues. I feel them creeping into my shoes, slowing down my every move. You're moved on and doing fine. I hold up here with you on my mind. I wish that I was over you, but I'm homesick with the blues. Yeah, I'm homesick with the blues.
What are you doing?
Do you know Buck Owens' tune? I think Joey did this one with Dole, though, didn't you?
A little bit different, same song.
Was he old when he done this one?
Probably. It's called I Don't Care.
E. Y'all ready? All right.
I don't care if the sun don't shine. I don't care if the bells won't chime. Just as long as you love me. I don't care if the times won't spin. I don't care if the gin won't gin. Just as long as you love me. So darling, let it rain, let it snow, let the cold north winds blow. Just as long as you love me. North to south, east to west, you know I will stand the test. Just as long as you love me. I don't care if the birds don't sing. I don't care if the bells won't ring. Just as long as you love me. I don't care if the world don't turn. I don't care if the fire won't burn. Just as long as you love me. So darling, let it rain, let it snow, let the cold north winds blow. Just as long as you love me. North to south, east to west, you know I will stand the test. Just as long as you love me. So darling, let it rain, let it snow, let the cold north winds blow. Just as long as you love me. North to south, east to west, you know I will stand the test. Just as long as you love me. I wake up in the morning, wipe the sleep out of my eyes. I look out through the window to the early morning skies. I ask the Lord to help me with decisions that I make, and I pray that He will help me to give more than I take. Help me give more than I take. his blood was the price. As he hung there on the cross, Jesus came to give. He took my place at Calvary. He died so I could live. Help me give more than I take. Help me leave a little more along the way. Take some pain and put love in its place. Help me give more than I take. Help me give more than I take. Help me leave a little more along the way. Take some pain and put love in its place. Help me give more than I take. Help me give more than I take. This is another one off of my CD called You Can't Hide.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I've been fooled by love before. I've been caught in a slamming door. Never fall again, I swore. Learned my lesson this time for sure. You can't run, but you can hide. You can lock those feelings
banjo. There's a sweet little miss that I love to kiss. Now listen close and hear me. She's not my only love, I have another love, and she'll just have to share me. She stands 5 feet tall, high heels and all, and she already knows. She's caught in the middle, playing second fiddle to a polka on an old banjo. Polka on a banjo, make that 5-string hot. Polka on a banjo, give it all you got. Polka on a banjo, watch them fingers roll. Of all the songs, I guess the one that I like best is a polka on an old banjo. Start the band, she'll take me by the hand, and I begin to swing her. She knows I never miss a chance to steal a kiss or dance the polka with her. Well, I don't speak a word once I've heard the one song I love dearly. She's caught in the middle, saying clicking fiddle to a polka on an old banjo. Polka on a banjo, make that 5-string hot. Polka on a banjo, go get that flu shot. Polka on a banjo, watch them fingers roll. Of all the songs, I guess the one I improv best is a polka on an old banjo. Thank you.
Joey Cox.
East Tennessee Blues. You gonna take
Let them pick y'all another one called East Tennessee Blues.
What do you want here? The banjo player getting tuned here.
2,000 years ago, you sent your son. You wanted us to understand that whosoever would believe on him would be saved in his hands, with 3 rusty nails and an old dogwood tree. The sacrifice was made for you and me. We were afraid to say that he was the one. What have we done to your son? Oh, how it hurts when someone laughs at you. Their words can cut you like a knife. Just think of all the shame we put him through. I guess he gave more than his life, with 3 rusty nails and an old dogwood tree. The sacrifice was made for you and me. We were afraid to say that he was the one. What have we done to your son? For we know not what we do, and we know not what we say. The sacrifice you paid for us to take our sins away. With 3 rusty nails and an old dogwood tree. The sacrifice was made for you and me. We were afraid to say that he was the one. What have we done to your son? With 3 rusty nails and an old dogwood tree.
didn't have a Cotton Eye Joe? Where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Now down in the holler where the peaches grow, the married the man named Cotton Eye Joe. Where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
On one morning bright and clear, to the old home I drew near, just a village down in sunny Tennessee. I was speeding on a train that would take me back again to the girl I left in sunny Tennessee. You could hear the old folks singing as she bid farewell to me. Far across the fields of cotton, my old homestead I could see as the moon rose in its glory. There I told my sweetest story to the girl I left in sunny Tennessee. As the train pulled up at last, old familiar scenes I passed, and I met my mother at the station door. And as old folks gathered round, tears on every face I found, but I missed the one that I'd been longing for. You could hear the old folks singing as she bid farewell to me. Far across the fields of cotton, my old homestead I could see as the moon rose in its glory. There I told my sweetest story to the girl I left in sunny Tennessee. Then I whispered, Mother dear, where is Mary? She's not here. All the world seemed lost and sadness came to me. Then she pointed to a spot by a lonely graveyard lot where my darling sleeps in sunny Tennessee. You could hear the old folks singing as she bid farewell to me. Far across the fields of cotton, my own homestead I could see. As the moon rose in its glory, there I told my sweetest story to the girl I left in sunny Tennessee. To the girl I left in sunny Tennessee.
Sunny Tennessee. Thank you, folks. Down in sunny Tennessee. That's an old one that goes way back. Charlie Poole recorded that back in about 1930, and several other people have recorded through the years. Pop Stoner from Galax. We're from up in Grayson County, west of Galax a little bit, and glad to be down here once again. We played down here a few years ago, a few times, and it's always good to come down this way. I can hear myself a little bit better now. We was having a little hard time hearing the vocals in the monitors, but I believe that helped it right there. Folks, we're going to do a song. There was some fine bluegrass music we heard earlier. That Blades of Blues, a fine band, some great singing and picking. Give them another big hand. Yes, indeed. And Bill Monroe, of course, him and his band, the Bluegrass Boys, started bluegrass back in the 1940s. And, of course, it's based a lot on old-time music and the same instruments, just in a sort of a little bit more modern style, I guess. And one of the tunes that Bill wrote, he wrote a lot of good tunes through his lifetime, but one of these tunes that he wrote, one called Scotland, that sort of honors his Scottish heritage. And we've got Casey up with the accordion to represent the bagpipes, and we're going to try it for you. One called Scotland. You might want to dance to this one.
Thank you, folks. I'll tell you, there's only one thing more scary than an accordion player in an old-time band, and that's an accordion player on big screen TV.
Like right now.
Really. I feel like a cross between King Kong and Lawrence Welk. Anyway, you know, we played up north in Indiana one time. Was going into a restaurant to eat, and I thought I'd leave my accordion out in the car. And, Dale said, "You better not leave the accordion out here outside of Fort Wayne." He said, "Somebody may bust in the car and steal your accordion." I said, "Nah, these Hoosiers are nice people." So I just left the accordion in the car, and we went and had a meal, and when we got back, the windows were busted out in the car. I said, "Oh, Lord." Went in, and somebody had thrown 3 more accordions in the back seat. That being said, I'd like to thank all y'all for coming out. I've done seen one person that I'm kin to from Greasy Creek, a Wolford fella, and he actually claimed it. Isn't that something?
Wow.
These folks around here, they have no shame when they say, "Yeah, I'm kin to you." Yeah. And I saw a nurse I used to work with and her husband at the Nut House. And of course, I say that I worked there, but a lot of people think that I stayed there. I lived there.
Yep.
Yeah, I did get out. Anyway, we're going to do you a little Cajun number. Hope you enjoy it. Let's head down south, way down south to Louisiana. This is called Sweet Susanna.
C'est la belle Louisiane, c'est la femme fait le temps. Tes jolies, tes melons et ton bon. Why'd you go and leave me in Louisiana, sweet Susanna? Left me for a fella who wore a big black umbrella. Came to the sticks to buy some antiques. He was a wheeler and a dealer, the woman stealer. C'est la belle Louisiane, c'est la femme fait le temps. Tes jolies, tes melons et ton bon. Oh, sweet Susanna, you loser. You went off and you left me for a no-account boozer. Stole all these goods, left him in the woods. Hope you store in a bore, you flirty girlie. C'est la belle Louisiane, c'est la femme fait le camp. Tes jolies, tes melons et ton bon. Please come back to Louisiana, sweet Susanna. Since you left, nothing's right, and the catfish don't bite. Can't pay my rent, 'cause you stole every cent. Can't stand to see my landlord cry. C'est la belle Louisiane, c'est la femme fait le femme. Tes jolies, tes melons et ton bon. C'est la belle Louisiane, c'est la femme fait le femme. Tes jolies, tes melons et ton bon. C'est la belle Louisiane, c'est la femme fait le femme. Tes jolies, tes melons et ton bon.
That's Casey Hash there on the accordion, the vocal. Sound guys, could you bring a little more fiddle in my monitor anyway, or maybe all the way across? A little more fiddle, and maybe he wants a little more vocal in the fiddler's monitor, if that would be possible.
Just a little more fiddle, and he'll be happy. Just a little more fiddle, he'll be all right. Just a little more fiddle makes banjo player happy.
We're going to do you a good dance number. This is an old one that probably goes back across the ocean. One of the tunes that, a lot of the old-time tunes come from the Great Britain area and Scotland, Ireland, England, Wales. And, of course, it's been changed somewhat in this country and added to and taken away. And, of course, not all of the tunes are come over, but a lot of them did. And I think this is, I was told by Joe Wilson, he's a scholar in old-time music, and he told me that this one was an old Irish number, I believe, that had a different name over there. But it'd be good for you to dance on. We do have our CDs in the back. I want to mention those. My wife Connie's back there at the table, and we got all kinds of CDs and got specials on them. A January special. So go back there and check them out.
A January special.
January special.
January special?
Before it snows. I know it's been awful cold lately. How many of you saw 0 or below at your house this week? Yes, indeed.
Hey, the temperature in Elk Creek matched my IQ this
7,
morning.
that's right. Yeah. Casey said it was 7 below 0 at his house, and I think it was about 3 or 4 below at my house, but that's pretty cold with that wind blowing, and I hope we don't have any more of those.
My pet penguin was knocking on the door wanting me to
That's right,
cold.
that's right. One called Gray Eagle. We'll do it for you.
Morning for a day, the brakeman said you got to pay. I got no money, so pawn my shoes. Gotta go west, I got the Milwaukee Blues. Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues.
I gotta go west, I got the Milwaukee Blues. Now old Bill Jones said before he died, fix those oaks so the folks can ride. When they ride, they'll ride the rod. Put all the trust in the hands of God. Hands of God,
Hands of God,
in the hands of God.
in the hands of God.
They'll put all trust in the hands of God. Now old Bill Jones said before he died, 2 more roads I'd like to ride. Fireman said, what can it be? Southern Pacific and a Santa Fe. Santa Fe,
Santa Fe,
oh the Santa Fe,
oh Santa Fe,
oh Pacific and a Santa Fe. Well, the next time you see old Bill Jones, he'll be riding the rails, trying to get home. He may try to pawn his shoes. Gotta go west, I got the Milwaukee Blues. Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues.
Milwaukee Blues.
I gotta go west, I got the Milwaukee Blues. Oh, the Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues.
Milwaukee Blues,
Gotta go west, I got the Milwaukee Blues. Oh, the Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues,
Milwaukee Blues.
Milwaukee Blues.
Gotta go west, I got the Milwaukee Blues. Thank you, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to do a fiddle tune that Jerry brought to the band. We've not done this in a while, but it's a good one. He learned it off of, I believe, an old recording from down in Asheville, North Carolina area, western North Carolina. Marcus Martin. It's a rare old-time tune. You probably have never heard it. I think you'll enjoy it. One called Happy Hollow. Happy Hollow, Jerry Carell.
If the ocean was whiskey and I was a duck, I'd swim to the bottom and never come up. Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cry. If I can't get rye whiskey, I surely will die. me, daggone you try me. Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cry. If I can't get rye whiskey, I surely will die. Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cry. If I can't get rye whiskey, I surely will die.
Rye whiskey, there's an old timer for you. Some pretty dancing out there, folks. Get thirsty, they got some drinks over here, something to eat over on the side. And while you're back there, go back by the record table. We do have our CDs. We've got some CDs, our projects, and we're real proud of them. I think we've got 4 or 5 different band projects, and Jerry's got a couple of feature projects with a lot of guests on there, and I may have some of the old Bog Trotters CDs where I used to play with the Bog Trotters, and we may even have a few of the Big Country Bluegrass CDs where I wrote some liner notes for our friends Big Country Bluegrass. Might even have a few of those left. I'm not sure back there at the table, but we're going to do you an old fiddle tune. It's got a few words that I wrote to the tune. It didn't have any words, and we always enjoy doing this one. One called Purty Polly Ann.
Here for Dixieland, I'm gonna marry Purty Polly Ann. It's time to put a ring on her hand. I'm gonna marry Purty Polly Ann. Now she got the pot, she got the pans. I'm gonna marry Purty Polly Ann. Hope you like our old time band with that tune called Purty Polly Ann.
Get Jerry up here to lead us in a good old fiddle tune. This is one of my favorites. One we call Lost Indian.
hey, hey. All right, boy. Burning off them hot dogs out there. Before we go any further, we are the Wolfe Brothers from Elk Creek, Virginia. Let's give that guy playing the fiddle a big hand, Mr. Jerry Carell. Lives right up the road on Possum Holler. Lady over here playing bass and singing. In fact, she's a wonderful person. The only thing I can say against her is that she's married to the fiddle player. But hey, nobody says good taste.
Can't be perfect.
Yeah, no, you can't be perfect. They are married. That's the reason we keep them on opposite sides of the stage, so we can have a peaceful show. But let's give her a big hand, Miss Donna Carell.
Thank you.
This next fella, he plays the banjo. There's just no beginning to his talent. He sings.
No beginning.
He writes songs. Ah, did you get that?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a special guy. He was a C-section baby. He was born in the C-section of a Flatt and Scruggs concert.
Yep.
And he's been into bluegrass and old-time music ever since. Let's give Mr. Dale Morris a big hand right over here.
Thank you, folks.
I am the man of constant sorrow, the linchpin of this little band. I was Bob, our last governor. What was his last name?
McDonald.
Bob McDonald. I was his legal advisor. So,
Whoops.
So I got to make my living at this. I sure didn't do too good there. My name is Casey Hash from Elk Creek, Virginia.
Casey, you'll never do.
So what say we bring that man with the hair of white and the magic fingers to play the banjo and sing y'all the song?
I'll try it.
All righty. Say, darling, say.
Oh, say, little darling, won't you marry me? Live up a holler near the old oak tree. Say, darling, say, near the old oak tree we'll make our home. Never more this world to roam. Say, darling, say, we'll be happy, you and me. I give my word, that's a guarantee. Nail my shoes to the floor, settle down and roam no more. Now hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird. Say, darling, say. And if that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring. Say, darling, say. We'll be happy, you and me. I give my word, that's a guarantee. Nail my shoes to the floor, settle down and roam no more. Oh yes, little darling, I want you so. Be my bell, I'll be your bow. Say, darling, say. Live up the holler near the old oak tree. Children bouncing on my knee. Say, darling, say. We'll be happy, you and me. Give my word, that's a guarantee. Nail my shoes to the floor. Settle down and roam no more. Be happy, you and me. I give my word, that's a guarantee. Nail my shoes to the floor, settle down and roam no more.
All right. Say, darling, say. That's an old timer that we reworked and put a chorus to it. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going to do another old American ballad that goes way, way back. Get Casey Hash up here to lead us in one called The Roving Gambler.
I am a roving gambler, gamble down in town. Whenever I meet with a deck of cards, I lay my money down. Lay my money down, lay my money down. I had been in Tennessee many more weeks than 3 when I fell in love with a pretty little gal and she fell in love with me. Fell in love with me, fell in love with me. She took me to her parlor, cooled me with her band, whispered low in her mama's ear, I love that gambling man, love that gambling man, love that gambling man. Daughter, oh dear daughter, why do you treat me so? Leave your dear old mama and with the gambler go, with the gambler go, with the gambler go. I've never married a railroad man, here is the reason why. Ain't never seen a railroad man who tell his wife a lie. Tell his wife a lie, tell his wife a lie. I've gambled out in Tennessee, gambled out in Spain, headed south to Georgia, gambled my last game, gambled my last game, gambled my last game. I am a roving gambler, gambled out in town. Whenever I meet with a deck of cards, I lay my money down, lay my money down, lay my money down. Let's see, do some
All right, folks, we're going to do a couple more in A chord and then switch down into the key of D. And we just decided which ones we'd do. We've got a few too many tunes written down. Let's do Durham's Bull, folks. Durham's Bull, that's a good old-timey number that some bluegrass groups have done as well. Durham's Bull. mighty fine. Jerry Carell, let's get Donna Carell up to sing us one. This is one that we get a lot of requests for, and it's on our latest CD, which we have on special back there at the table. My pretty wife, Connie, who I've been married to for
10 minutes.
30, maybe 38 years,
38.
something like that. We was married in 1975, so I'm not too good with math, so I forget sometimes.
This song kind of
39, all right.
This song Donna's going to sing kind of describes Connie and her marriage to you.
Oh, yeah.
The name of the song is I've Endured.
Born in the mountains 50 years ago, I've trod the hills and valleys through the rain and snow. I've seen the lightning flash and I've heard the thunder roll. I've endured, I've endured. How long can one endure? Barefoot in the summer, on into the fall. Too many mouths to feed, they couldn't clothe us all. Sent to church on Sunday to learn the golden rule. I've endured, I've endured. How long can one endure? I've worked for the rich and I've lived with the poor. I've seen many a heartache, there'll be many a more. Lived, loved, and sorrowed, been to success's door. I've endured, I've endured. How long can one endure? I've endured, I've endured. How long can one endure?
We're down in D chord now, and we're going to start with an old favorite, one you've heard here many times if you've been here, and lots of times at Fiddler's Conventions and whatnot. And I'd like to invite you up to Elk Creek. That's where we're from, Elk Creek, and there's a big Fiddler's Convention up there, the Grayson County Fiddler's Convention. It's always the last full weekend of June. So come on up and be with us at the Elk Creek ball field there at the school. We always have a great big time. Start with Sugar Hill, folks.
We'll tune the banjo and the fiddle too and dance a mountain brim. We'll frolic till the morning sun way up on Sugar Hill. Swing them gals, boys.